Hello, good morning, and welcome to my unboxing for my summer art classes. Summer art classes start actually next week, in person in Horseheads, New York, but also online, and I will ship you all the supplies. So whether your child is taking in person or online, you're going to be able to see everything that your child is going to have access to. And I'm going to show you what we're going to be making. I'm going to show you what's in the box, and then I'm going to walk you through all the lessons so you can see the quality, the depth that we're going to go into, and your child's going to really enjoy everything we're doing. So the summer art classes are 8 weeks, and we're studying Impressionist art. So they are mini Impressionist museums, and your child is going to actually make a museum. I have mine here. The walls are not completely attached, but I'll show them to you. So the in-person classes will have this size, and they'll be able to pick their flooring and figure out where they want their walls to be and what color their walls will be. This is mine. I still need to attach things. And then every week we're going to be studying an Impressionist artist, painters, glass artists. We're going to do French ceramics and fashion as well. And then your child will do miniature works of art, like little master copies of the paintings. And I have these cute little frames that I printed, 3D printed, and your child will do the art, put them in frames, and then attach them to their museum. So let's open the box. If you are doing online, this is what you're getting ready to receive. Let me switch my camera. Okay, so here's the box. This is what you're going to be greeted with. Your summer art class has arrived, and Mona's here for it. So let's open it up. These boxes are stuffed so much that I actually wasn't able to put everything in, and I'm going to have to ship some of the later items for a later class later, another time, in a couple weeks. So you are greeted with this beautiful label. And I thought too, this would be perfect as a gift. If you're a grandparent and you've got grandkids, kids are going to really love this. Every week they're going to be able to do something super fun and learn so much. So you're greeted with a welcome letter. Kind of orient the parents to everything that's inside. There's lesson plans and a list of things you're going to need from the box, a list of very common household items that you're going to need for the class, instructions on how to make your museum, how to do the shrinky dinks, some caution for looking at artwork as well, and music suggestions. And then also everybody that is taking online, I have found museums near you that has artwork from the artists that we're studying. So you guys can go to the museums and your kids can see it in person, which is a really special thing to be able to do. Feels like you're seeing a celebrity. After you've looked at this art, enjoyed it, learned about it, and then you actually go see it in person. It's a very strong connection. So got that. So here's your box. We have all of the frames. Your child is going to get 20 frames, 5 of each kind, 10 of each kind, excuse me. We are doing French ceramics, as I said, so we're going to have the clay, air dry clay. I have a really nice set of oil pastels. These are the kind I use, and they're really creamy. They're really, really nice. And so I'm going to show them how to blend. You're limited with colors, of course, but you can layer colors and mix them. And I'm going to show your child how to do that. And they perfectly mimic oil paintings. So we have 3 oil painting artists. We're going to be using pastels for that. We have colored pencils for our glass art. I'm going to show you that. And we have soft pastels. We have one artist that used regular pastels on toned paper. Now, each child is going to get a binder with all of their handouts in it. So they keep it nice. They've got their name on it. And it's really nice. I'll go through this in just a second. And then also, I have some really lovely papers, if I can get it out. And color choices for your child. And these are the ones that the student picked out. We've got tans and browns, and then based on their choices, I've got some special papers that I add in with some special texture. And then they get to pick their flooring, which I've printed on sticky paper. And then you can just put it on the floor of your museum. And I have instructions for everything. My hope is that this is as easy as possible for you as the parent to do for your child. Everything is like every little step is there, but also I've tried to streamline it so it's less of a headache. Hopefully not a headache at all. Hopefully lots of fun. So so that's that. When you order online, actually, sorry, when you order online, I do want to show you this. Let me do this real quick. The online students, now my in-person students are going to have access to this here in the room, but my online students will be able to choose their colors. So let me go over to the site here. So you go to RebeccaFinch.com, it's right here. You click, and I have in-person classes here, online classes here. So online students will be able to come down here and choose wall and flooring colors. And I just want to show you how much you can choose from. I have some pictures here to help your child kind of visualize maybe what they would like. They want it dark, they want it light. And then we have all the flooring choices, concrete, wood planks, and regular wood, and just some other shades that they might enjoy. And then we have a ton of wall color choices for your child, and they can pick several of them and mix and match. So I really wanted these to be very beautiful and also very customized. It's been a lot of fun to see what all the kids have chosen. Some of the girls have picked a soft lavenders. Actually, some of the girls have picked like a deep green color, which is really nice for the museums. Like this one right here is really kind of nudie and beautiful. So let me switch back over so you can see the box again. Okay. All right, we're good. Okay, so we have all their choices in here. I will show this fully to you, but these are just the things that they're going to draw on, and they need to do things with that won't go in their notebook. And then I have all the boards for you, already cut and ready to go. Now, I showed you the large one that will be in person. Now, because I can't ship this one large board, you're going to get it in 2 pieces. So you could glue these together, long ways, short ways, or you could have a double-decker museum, up to your child, whatever they'd like to do. And then I have plenty of walls. I've already cut them for the proper height, so all you have to do is cut the length. And I have an easy way for you guys to figure that out, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I'm pretty good at systems and figuring things out, the best way to do things. And so I'm sharing all that with the parents so that you guys will have an easier time. Yeah, we're going to do this and this. I'm going to get this kind of out of the way here. But you're going to get all of this in the box. And it's just, I almost wasn't able to get everything in. And in fact, I have to ship the fabric separate, which I didn't talk about yet. We're going to be doing some fashion. So Impressionist art affected the fashion for the day. I'm going to set this aside so I can show you what's inside the notebooks, the handouts that your child is going to be receiving. Okay, I got their name on it. It's beautiful. We have lesson plans for the parents. We have the lesson, what we're going to be doing, what you need out of the box, and then anything household item related that you're going to need. And it's just things like scissors, school glue. You actually don't need a Ziploc bag. I have a solution for that to keep your little pieces in. I got these. They're little business card holders. And so you can slide your artwork right in here while you do all the artwork and decide which ones you want to put in your museum. So just pencil, eraser, things like that you're going to need. So all the lesson plans, so there's going to be 8 lessons. And then I also let you know if there's something you need to do before the next lesson or something you can do now. There's a point where we're not doing the museums just yet. And then after lesson 2, you can start putting them together, because I want to talk to the kids about museum layout and all that before they get going on making their own. Museums near you. So my students that are taking the class online, I tell them what museums near them has some artwork. Like, for instance, we're looking at Monet, and some of these art museums have Monets in them. So I give you a nice list of that. Then we have some instructions on how to put them together. I've got pictures step by step of the easiest way that I found to put them together. Less of a headache for you guys, and the steps to do them, and just some little tips. And then we get going. So lesson 1, we're talking about Impressionism. It's important for the kids to understand why Impressionism started and the things that led to it, because that's what happens with art movements. We're usually moving one thing to another, and there's a reason. So before Impressionism got started, we had all these dark, really tight paintings, and a very kind of a rigid way of painting from the art salons and the art academies and things like that. And so there were a few short movements away from that, and then the Impressionism movement started. And these artists were not widely accepted. And we do talk about that, the things that they had to go through, and because it was new and different, and people like, this is such a step away from these very tight, perfect paintings. And there were things happening in the world at the time which changed what painters wanted to depict. They didn't want to do historical depictions. They wanted to paint what was happening now and the things outside. So we're going to talk about all of that. It's very exciting. I got so excited when I was doing the handouts. I geek out very much. And then their influence on the rest of the art world. They pushed through, even though they were heavily ridiculed. They were rejected from all the exhibits. And so they just did their own thing. They formed a group like, well, we'll have our own exhibit. And they pushed through. And now we get to enjoy one of the most beautiful art movements there is. Impressionist art is probably the favorite of all of the art movements for many people. And we continue on in lesson 1. We talk about Claude Monet, and he is one of the starters of the Impressionist movement and how important he is. And then we look at a lot of his paintings. We'll also discuss how to look at art, how to observe it, some things to look for, as well as when we talk about Impressionist art, things to look for in Impressionist art, the qualities that it has, so you can kind of identify it. So we look at a lot of his gorgeous artwork, and then throughout the 8 weeks, we're going to look at museums from around the world. So our first one is the Louvre. We talk about the Louvre and some nice pictures of it, and it's massive. It's absolutely massive. I've been there, and we walked it the whole way. We did look at several things, but most of the day we were just walking. It's that big. And of course, the Mona Lisa. So we talk about all that to get them oriented to some neat museums around the world. There's another one that I really am looking forward to talking about. Lesson 2 is Edgar Degas. He is the one that did pastels, not just oil painting. If you see a painting of a ballerina, it's probably one of his works. But not many people know that he also did landscapes, and we're going to really be focusing on his landscapes and the layering of color. I don't know if you can see this. There's some beautiful yellows, but then you see these pops of aqua and green. And so we're going to be talking about that with the kids. While we're making master copies, that's what these are called. You're making art based off of this. You're recreating this. You learn so much about the artist and what they did. I'm also going to give them tips on art, value, and color, and things like that, and how to mix these pastels to get the colors you want, because you have limited colors in that box, but you can mix them and make them do what you want them to do. So I have some toned paper that we're going to work on. Then we're going to talk about museums and layouts. And after this lesson is when you guys can actually make your museum. different ways that museum architects create flow, and the designers create a feeling in the museum. Like, is it light and bright and airy? Is it dark? Is it moody? Is it mysterious, kind of? So you can do all that with the colors, the flooring, and then you can use things in the room to guide your visitors. And I want them to start thinking about the experience they want to create for their visitors. And at the same time, observing what other museums are doing. These all have very different feelings and different flow. So they get to see a lot of examples, and we'll look at different things that are used to get the visitor to move through the museum in the way that you'd like them to move. And so it's not confusing. They know where to go, things like that. So we're just going to talk a lot about that. And then I have some actual floor plans from other museums and galleries. This one, the option would be to have a center room. Now, I know they can't like do this whole thing unless they do like really miniature, but they could do a small section of it. But this is a central room, and then you have all these rooms around it. So that is an option. So they come in here, they do all the rooms, and as they go, they see their artwork on this side, and they go all the way around, and then they're back where they came from. This is another option where you just have a very linear wraparound, and this is very linear. The experience, though, with this one is very interesting. This is the Ford's Theater Museum, and this museum takes the visitors through a timeline. So it tells a story. You have a journey, Abraham Lincoln's first inauguration, and all the way through his presidency and the conspiracy for assassination and all of that. So you can design your path through with the experience that you want your visitors to have. So I will be mailing out the rest of the handouts at another time later on, but I wanted to show you a little sneak peek. We're also going to be talking about Tiffany. Now, he's kind of in between the Impressionists and Art Nouveau, which is the art movement that came after that. And Art Nouveau went in very like a lot of curves, a lot of nature, swirls, and you see that in some of his artwork. So he's kind of in Impressionism, but I really wanted to discuss him and also do some glass work. So we're going to talk about him. He experimented a lot and just came up with this new kind of metallic glass called Favril. And we're going to talk about experimenting. So the kids, as we talk about each artist, they're going to learn things that they had to go through, they had to figure out, and they had to guess, and they just kept experimenting, or they were ridiculed and they kept going, things that they fought through to make it. So we're going to talk about him, mostly the windows that he has. Now, if you live in Corning or near Corning, you've got a chance to see, I think no, it's not this one. I'll have to look again. I don't know. It's this one. This one is in the Corning Museum of Glass. So anyway, you can go see them. They are scattered around the world. And then this is the little project. So we're going to do Shrinky Dinks, and they mimic glass really well. So your child's going to put the Shrinky Dink over here and be able to trace and color, and then they will end up with this. And then they can do several of them and then put them in their museum. And we have some other mosaics as well. So we have the nice picture, but then easy for the child to mimic that. Then we're going to talk about Vincent van Gogh, of course, and more oil paintings. And then we're going to do French ceramics. So we're going to make some pitchers, some vases. I think I have a plate as well. And they're going to then use the oil pastels on that and smoosh it around because they blend so well. And then you're going to get some of these nice effects. This is going to be a fun one. We're also going to be looking at the Philadelphia Museum of Art and the Met as well. Seascapes. So we're going to cover a few artists with this because our theme is seascapes, so we can like branch out. And we're going to look at all of these gorgeous, gorgeous paintings. Oh, this is the Isabella Stewart Garden Museum. This is the one I'm kind of excited to talk about. It's a little museum. It's got a beautiful little courtroom, but there was this really famous art heist, an art theft that well, spoiler alert, they never recovered the paintings and they don't know where they are. And this was like decades ago. So, kind of an exciting lesson. And they still keep the frames up because they took the artwork out of the frame so they can get it out easier. So they left the frames up, the empty frames right there, you can see, and never recovered some of these really famous pieces of art. Then I mentioned we're going to be doing fashion. So when you have an art movement, if it's a real strong one, it's going to affect all the art world. You're talking architecture, fashion, jewelry, dresses. It affects the music, which did affect the music. The Impressionist period, you've heard of Claude Debussy. There's a lot of Impressionist music, and it sounds like the art. It's really, really everywhere and beautiful. It sounds like color. So anyway, it affected the fashion world, and there were some changes that happened. They really, really liked the very bright white dresses and outfits, but also black started to be used as a fashion statement instead of just for mourning. So we're going to be doing that, and I didn't bring it in again. I forgot. So we're going to be using foil to form the underneath the clothing, and then we're going to put clothing on top. And it's going to be, you've seen in the museums, hopefully, that they have like the dresses out, like you can see, and it's got like a model, like a mannequin kind of a thing underneath. So we're going to be making like the mannequin for the ladies' dresses and the men's outfits. And I have fabric for these that go along with this coloring. I'm going to grab it. Ugh. I had a little bit of fun, just a little bit, not much. So I've got great colors for the men's outfits and the ladies, of course, and we are going to use that beautiful green that was in this lady's dress right here. I also have ribbon for my belts or the tie for the man, and then some fun little extra things for the dresses. So I'm really looking forward to this one. This is the one I'm gonna send out the fabric later because it wasn't gonna fit in that box. So this is lesson 7. So we've got time. And then the last lesson, we're going to go back to Monet because he did lots of series, and I want to talk about the cathedral series. So this was the Rouen Cathedral. It's actually called Notre Dame, but it's not the one in Paris. It's a different one. And he painted this cathedral maybe about 30 times in different lighting, at different times of the day over 2 years of summer and spring. So he painted it early morning when there was fog, at noonlight, and you can see like sunset and just all the different colors. We're going to talk a lot about color, and so they're going to make some miniatures of these as well. I want to take you in here and just show you the last little bit of things. I wanted you to be able to see all the detail and quality that your kids are going to be getting, the information, the education, and the inspiration. Like they're just going to love these pieces. They're going to find some of their favorite artists this summer. So these are the master copies that we're going to be doing. So I have a sheet for them to look off of so they can see the colors and everything. And then this is the paper. It's a thicker paper that they're going to be actually doing the artwork on. So I grade them out so that instead of just starting with nothing, they don't have to worry so much with the drawing part, and they can use the artwork itself to draw on top of. So they'll be doing the oil pastels on this, and this is exactly what I did. Which one is this? This one right here. I looked off of this one, and then I did the artwork on that, and it covers so well that you can't see what's underneath, and then they can put it in their frame and in their museum. And so we do this for several of them. This is the one for Degas because he used tone paper mostly with his art. This one not so much, but these you can tell started off with a brown paper, and then they'll have a guide for being able to do the artwork on top. So I'll be doing that with all of those. This is my design for helping you get your walls on your museum. So I've got several of these that your child can mark and decide where they want their walls. Each square represents an inch. So when they draw it out for you, then you can take it, and I covered up the boards already, but the wall space, then you can easily, all you have to do is just cut the one way, and then you're off to the races with your museum. So that way they can really think about their layout, and then they've got 3 of these, so if they mess up, they can do it again. And if you need it, I can send you the PDF so you can print out some more. So, and then the Shrinky Dinks, and I have instructions for the Shrinky Dinks and little tips. So really trying to make everything super, super easy for you, and that you have everything you need to be successful with these 2 months of classes. So I hope you enjoyed hopefully a brief look at a lot of quality and everything that I'm going to be giving to your kids this summer. I'm mailing the boxes out this morning. I have enough supplies to send another one out. After that, I'll have to order something or have it drop shipped to you from a couple things from Amazon instead of waiting. So if you click the link there, you can see, hold on. Now I can talk to you. If you click the link on the description of this video, you can go straight to those pages and see more detail. Also, if you have more than one child, there is special pricing for the second child. And if you're online, you can pick your walls and your flooring and just have a great time. So I'm really looking forward to this class. We're going to have a great time. Your kids are going to learn, they're going to be inspired, and they're going to create. And that is it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, you have a wonderful rest of your week. It is Thursday, yes. And we will see you later. Goodbye.